two buzzwords that you're hearing a lot now: boundaries and stoicism, or stoic philosophy. And first off, if you're new here, my name is Dylan. I am a survivor of coercive control. So if you're setting boundaries, and your boundaries are actually a front so you can avoid accountability and responsibility for your actions because you're treating someone poorly or harming them or deceiving them, future faking, love bombing, your inconsistent, your toxic behaviors, if you're literally setting boundaries as I can't deal with this right now because you don't want to deal with it, and leaving someone in a state of emotional purgatory so you can just avoid responsibility and accountability, those aren't boundaries. If your boundaries require someone else to not get closure about your toxic behaviors and abuse, then that's just more manipulation. And stoicism is not the philosophy of stuffing and avoidance and spiritual bypassing. Stoicism is a wisdom and philosophy to help people become less reactionary in the moment and not react off of reflex, so they don't become controlled by their reactions. Stoicism used by a spiritual narcissist is literally avoidance, is literally not coping with the thing in the moment and just stuffing and disassociating. And they'll call it stoicism. Like, why can't you just forget about that? Why are you always living in the past? Because to move forward requires awareness, and awareness is about closure and someone owning their side of their story and actually saying, hey, this is what I'm responsible for and I need to be accountable here. Because I want to learn how to be better, and I also want you, because I love you, to have closure and be able to move forward, regardless if that's with me or without me. I want you to have what you want, and I want you to have a life that you deserve, and that requires a lot of hard conversations, especially if they're meaningful relationships. The number one sign to me of a meaningful relationship is someone loves me enough to be willing to have the hard conversation with me because they respect me and want to do that for me. The same way and reciprocate that I want to somebody if I'm in a relationship with somebody and it doesn't mean anything, and then something comes up, I'm not going to take the time to put energy into it, to trying to have a hard conversation, because it doesn't mean anything. The hard conversation is symbolism of how important the relationship is. So if someone's with you and they're not telling you or having the hard conversations or being honest about what's going on, clearly they don't give a fuck. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. And how do you exist in a relationship when it's one-sided, when somebody's only about them? Is that a relationship, or is it a dictatorship? Right? Love is not control, and control is not love. And I won't allow people to use words like boundaries and stoic philosophy to control me, to avoid responsibility. So look out for spiritual bypassing, spiritual narcissism, so on, in coercive control, in any relationship form. This can come in a parent-child relationship, siblings, friendship, school, work, anywhere where somebody has the ability to have a misplaced power dynamic with someone else to deceive them and use them to their means to get what they want without needing to pay anything or be reciprocated, right? I really truly believe that most abusive, coercive, controlling, psychopathic narcissists are just trying to get something for nothing. They want everything. They want all of the entitlements of life and to get everything their way when they want it without having to give anything, because a lot of the times they don't have anything to give. They have a facade. They have a facade that they need you to buy into, so they need to deceive you to believe it. And when you start to really recognize they need to make you wrong and make you the problem, to make you the issue, so they don't have to face what and who they are, and they get the thing and they don't have to do anything for it. And where this comes from is all theorized. It comes from childhood behaviors, entitlements, childhood trauma, coping mechanisms, survival instincts, so on and so forth. And it's extremely difficult to discern, and it's extremely difficult to articulate when you're trapped in it. It's a lot easier for a lot of us to make ourselves the problem so we can be the solution. I must be making this person this way. I must be making a big deal out of nothing. Why can't I move forward? Why am I incapable of happiness? All these very destroying our self-worth, our underlying feeling of worthlessness, you know? The trance of unworthiness is what Tara Brach calls it. The trance of unworthiness. We get put into that trance by people trying to take from us, trying to control us, trying to make us into what they need us to be so they can feel okay about themselves. All right, I've talked long enough about this. If you want to email me at healwiththedream@gmail.com, I do one-on-one conversations about all of these topics or whatever it is you want to discuss.